Environment Prime Minister Mr Jochen Flasbarth, the State Secretary for Environment for Germany and his delegation, Honourable Ministers, Your Excellencies, ladies and gentlemen, Bula Vinaka, and a very good afternoon to you all. We are here this afternoon to make another milestone event in our progress towards assuming the presidency of COP23, which will be held in Bonn, Germany in November of this year. And it's very exciting as it is the launch of our logo, which the Fijian people have participated in and is authentically Fijian, yet globally recognizable. So without further ado, ladies and gentlemen, we'd like to now invite the Honourable Prime Minister, the incoming President, to say a few words, welcome our German friends, launch the logo, and announce the winners. Thank you very much.
Honourable Ministers, Your Excellencies, members of the Diplomatic Corps, ladies and gentlemen, Bula Vinaka, and a very good afternoon to you all. This is a very important day for Fiji, the launch of our official logo for COP23, which will be seen around the world by billions of people in the lead up to the UN climate negotiations in Bonn in November. I'm delighted to be joined by this afternoon by the visiting German State Secretary for the Environment, Mr. Jochen Flasbarth, and the other members of his delegation. Thank you, sir, for coming. And before we move to the official launch of the logo, I'd like to officially welcome him to Fiji on behalf of the Fijian government and the Fijian people. So it's wonderful to have you here in Suva, and I would ask you to convey to your own government and the German people our warmest thanks for the support that Germany is giving Fiji as we prepare for COP23. As many of you know, Fiji is the incoming president, and I will be presiding over the deliberations in November. But there was no way that we could accommodate the more than 20,000 people who are expected at COP here in Fiji. So Germany is very seriously hosting the, very generously hosting the conference in Bonn, and is picking up cost of doing so, some 70 million euros or 155 million Fijian dollars. It is a wonderful gesture, and especially when the German government has said that it wants this to be a Fijian COP and has offered to pay for branding of the event. The Fijian performance and cultural items and artifacts that we will take to Bonn to infuse COP23 with a Bula spirit. Sir, Vinaka, as we say in Fiji, for your wonderful generosity. And I want to say publicly that Fiji will be working closely with Germany and UNFCCC to make COP23 an unqualified success. Ladies and gentlemen, Your Excellencies, we are also joined this morning by Shines Voss. Shines, where are you? Shines, in front here. From Fiji Airways, our very successful national airline, which is generously donated the prizes for our logo competition. Shines has 84 million reasons to be smiling after the recent announcement of the record profit for Fiji Airways. I have more to talk to you and the Attorney General on that after this. But I also ask her to pass on our warmest appreciations to the Chief Executive Officer of the Fiji Airways, Mr. Andre Verjon, and the rest of the management and staff for Fiji Airways, not only for these prizes, but for making us all so proud of our airline. Fiji Airways is committed to supporting Fiji's presidency of COP23, and have not only donated the prizes for the logo competition, but will also be placing the logo on one of its planes. I hope that's the one that flies in that direction. And we thank them for the support. A big plane too, not a small one. Ladies and gentlemen, now to the announcement of the winner of our national logo competition and the unveiling of the winning design. It is my great pleasure as Prime Minister and incoming President of COP23 to announce that the winner is Mrs. Ronna Sekiguchi of the Fijian Design Company, the Greenhouse Studio. Ronna, please step forward. Please step forward here, Ronna, while I tell everyone your story. Ronna was born in the Philippines and came to Fiji in 2004. 2004. She's been a Fijian citizen since 2010, and in 2014 she founded the Greenhouse Studio which employs 7 people and has created a range of other logos for companies and institutions. And ladies and gentlemen, the final design is based on an entry into the competition, a logo that will be seen around the world in the coming months, and a logo that every Fijian can be proud of. There you go. Please put your hands together for the winner. I'm very proud that Fiji has the talent to design such a world-class product. As you can see, it captures perfectly the vulnerability to climate change of a small developing island state like Fiji. The island partially submerged and a huge wave bearing down on it. The wave, as you can see, is also in the form of a cyclone with an eye in the middle. So especially in light of our experience with Cyclone Winston last year that caused so much heartbreak, this is a very stark and effective message to take to the world. The need for us all to come together to build partnerships for climate action between governments, the civil society, and the private sector, and work together to improve the climate resilience of vulnerable nations such as Fiji. We are not just sitting here in the Pacific bearing the brunt, along with our neighbors, of some of the worst effects of climate change. With our presidency of COP23, we have been entrusted with the task of leading the world in the next phase of these negotiations. To preserve the multilateral consensus contained in the Paris Agreement for decisive cuts in carbon emissions, and keep up the momentum for its implementation with a wave of climate action that every global citizen can join. Ladies and gentlemen, I know we said in the end for our logo competition that we would have only one winner. But we got so many great submissions that I'm very pleased to also announce 2 runners-up, 2 young Fijians whose entries also featured the theme of a wave and who are both with us today. Shiristy Singh is from Cakobau School. Shiristy, please stand up. And Philitoga is from the Nadi Muslim Primary School. Shiristy and Mark, please step forward and hold up your designs. Please, ladies and gentlemen, give them both a round of applause. I'm also very pleased to say that not only is Fiji Airways giving our winner, Ronna, a trip for 2 anywhere on the airline's network, but it has stumped up another 2 prizes for our runners-up. And Shiristy and Mark, you both have the choice of a trip for 2 to either Australia or New Zealand. And I hope you both have a wonderful time. Yeah. So can I ask Sanis Vos to please present our winners and our 2 runners-up with the prizes, please. Thank you, Shanas. Ladies and gentlemen, that's the end of our formal proceedings, but I invite you all to stay on for some, not lunch, light refreshments, and the chance to meet our winners, of course. Thank you, Your Excellency, for being with us, and I invite you to say a few words yourself, if you may. Please.
Honorable Prime Minister, Attorney General, Ministers, Excellencies, ladies and gentlemen, and may I say so, friends. I'm really happy to be here. I had a very enjoyable trip to Fiji, especially because I came with Fiji Airways. And I also think I've never been so beautifully dressed as today. So, Bula, and thanks a lot for inviting us. I'm looking forward to a series of talks we will have today on the upcoming COP23, and it's a huge privilege to be here at this ceremony of the unveiling of this wonderful logo. And as you said, it reflects exactly what it is all about, that the most vulnerable countries of the world and the small island states belong to them are affected heavily by climate change. And Germany, Prime Minister, will always stand at the side of those who will be affected by climate change as a partner. And we are really delighted to cooperate with Fiji on the upcoming COP23. And we already can see now that Fiji will be a very strong leader for the world. We really appreciate your commitment. We met already in Morocco together with our minister, Barbara Hendricks, and we agreed on a close cooperation. I met your delegation in Berlin. I met the ambassadors in Brussels and in Geneva, and I'm really absolutely convinced that the world has chosen the right presidency for the next COP. And again, thank you for inviting us, and all the good for you and for the world. Thank you.
Thank you, Mr. Flasbarth, for those very kind words, and we really want to live up to those expectations, and through the Honourable Prime Minister, we hope to take the Paris Agreement and the climate action agenda up to the next level. Thank you very much for your presence. Ladies and gentlemen, that concludes the formal proceedings for this afternoon. Please stay back and mingle. We have a lot of our partners here with us this afternoon, a lot of the different embassies, the missions that are represented, including the NGOs and various other partners. We have some light refreshments for you, but we'll break up now. But we'll ask the designers, please, if you could come up to the front for a photo opportunity with the Honourable Prime Minister and Mr. Flasbarth. Thank you very much. Naka.